In prayer and unity, bishops of Africa and Europe joined together in February to strengthen their ties. Shared engagement for evangelisation between the continents was the theme for their 5-day encounter in Rome.
May the peace of the Lord with you all. We give thanks to God Almighty for bringing us together once again in our quest for greater communion and collaboration.
For the individuals involved, it marked another step forward as a universal Church of Rome.
The meeting between the bishops from Africa and the bishops from Europe is important because it seeks to bring together the two churches. The two continents, as Christians, we have quite a lot in common. And therefore, a meeting like this will facilitate a discussion on the various aspects on which we could share. For example, we could share on cultural issues, we could share on the priorities, the concerns of our different Christians or parishes or dioceses or episcopal conferences. So on all those fronts, we actually have something to talk about, to share in order to enhance our work. Besides, both continents belong to the Universal Church, and it's important to make it a fact and not just something we talk about.
I think the relationship is more to develop an understanding of each other, a mutual understanding of each other, our priorities in making church wherever we are, the difficulties that we experience, and the particular gifts that we bring to the church, both in Europe and in Africa, and therefore by understanding each other and what these gifts are, we can know how better to use them to promote salvation, harmony, coordination, and, as I say, mutual understanding.
The encounter in Rome comes just months after the Pope's visit to Benin, where he called the African continent a place of great hope for the Church. There he exhorted Africans to rise up and be who they are, leaving them with a document called Africae Munus to guide their path.
Africae Munus is a very key document for the future development of the Church in Africa, and has already given that Church in Africa an identity and a purpose and an objective. And it is up to us, while we are here, to become more deeply aware of what the Holy Father has said and how, in practical terms, we might be able to develop his ideas for the benefit of the people of Africa and also for ourselves in Europe. Because by understanding what Africa has to offer, we can welcome that, and by Africa understanding what we may have to offer, I'm sure they will welcome that as well.
The old evangelisation saw Europeans go to Africa as missionaries. Will the new evangelisation see Africans coming to countries like Wales in order to re-evangelise countries that were once Christian, which perhaps have lost the faith to some extent?
I think already in Great Britain we are receiving priests from overseas, and they are adapting to our culture and our language and our ways of doing things, and we are realizing that they have much to bring in their understanding of Christ, in their understanding of church, the structures of the church, the purpose of the church to bring salvation to everyone. I would not go so far as to say that already we have a reverse missionary process, a reverse evangelization. But the experience is a positive one. On the whole, there will always be, I think, difficulties one way or another with us or with them. But by trying to work together, we will build and rebuild and develop the church in Europe, as I hope we may be involved in helping them still in Africa and elsewhere as missionaries.
This conference, I think, has already started to help in the sense that it is beginning to clarify why the document was issued, what is important about that document, and why in Africa should actually take it as a very serious document. For example, the Holy Father enumerates quite a number of challenges in that document which we have to take. And one that was mentioned today was that theology shouldn't just be some speculative science, but we should try and translate our theology into some pastoral teaching, pastoral care, etc. So I think it is giving us guidelines as to how to confront some of the challenges today.
Africae Munus, as all papal documents, can be found on the Vatican's website.